Hi, welcome back to Tools and Tactics to Tame Your ADHD Brain. I have a question for you. Were you born this way or did you become this way? That is, did you enter the world with an ADHD brain or did it become formed that way as you went along? So it brings up the whole nature versus nature thing. Now, for ages, we've thought and believed that it's all genetic, that if you had ADHD or if you have it, that one or both your parents have it or someone in a previous generation, and that seems to make sense. On the other hand, there are some strong voices, professional voices like those of Dr. Gabor Mate, a famous psychiatrist, who says that it's strictly nurture, that it has a lot to do with your early childhood environment. What do you think of that? So if there was chaos and emotional unpredictability, if you were often feeling like you were unseen and unheard, and there was a lot of stress going on in that early childhood environment, maybe you adapted. And either way, whether you adapted to it or whether you came into it the world this way, it's a brilliant survival strategy, ADHD, if you think of it. And I've mentioned in previous videos, there are lots and lots of gifts associated with it. So I bring this up to say that self-blame can really be a big part of ADHD. Feel like your brain's broken, that you're lazy, that you're defective. None of which is actually true. It's just the way that your brain is organized and how it works with dopamine and norepinephrine. Well, it's also not to blame your parents or your heritage, but here's the thing. It's by understanding that maybe it's a little of both, nurture and nature, you come to a greater understanding and, frankly, to a greater state of self-acceptance. Well, I want to give you 3 tips that will help you move along with what I'm suggesting to you here so that you do feel better. You certainly deserve it. And really so that you can operate better, do better planning and organizing and all the things. Okay. All right. So number 1 tip is shift from self-judgment to self-inquiry. Self-judgment to self-inquiry. It's no secret that you're probably your harshest critic. When you're judging yourself, you cause inflammation in your nervous system. And it compounds, doesn't it? Like you get really mad at yourself because you can't focus, for example, or you can't be consistent in some way. And so therefore you judge yourself and you inflame your body, your nervous system. On the other hand, when you're curious and you have self-inquiry, isn't this interesting? Or I wonder what's happening and what my nervous system is needing right now. When you take that tact, you calm the nervous system because you take out the judgment. And you basically ask yourself, in terms of my nervous system right now, what do I need to regulate myself right now? And it may be, a walk outside. It may be something nourishing to eat or a good glass of water or some sunshine. It could be a lot of things, but you're tuning into that. That's the really important ones. Okay, here we come to what I feel like is a home run is that with ADHD is create micro moments of safety. Often you can feel unsafe in your own mind, in your own body. And if it was true, and I think there's a possibility that it was, that for you growing up, whether you came into the world this way or whether it was sort of caused by your environment, there's a lack of safety and you yearn for that. And so if that's true, and if that's been part of the problem, then healing involves safety and consistency. How do you create that? Well, you can pair music with boring tasks. You can do things like that, for example. You can find little ways to give yourself little special moments where you relax some. You take breaks after you do some things and be kind to yourself in what you're going through, right? So that gives you safety when you're not criticizing self and when you are kinder to yourself than not. Or you take time for some good self-care. Like you ask yourself the question, what do I need today to make myself feel emotionally safe? And then give yourself that thing. Super, super important. Number 3 is work with your brain's need for stimulation. So like if you have to do some things you really don't want to do, but they have to like get done, bills or whatnot, there's no reason why you can't walk around with your phone paying. In other words, go ahead and do some movement with it. You like to move. You don't have to like be stuck there and I got to do these 5 bills right now and I got to just like sit here and grit my way through it. You can mix it up. You could sit down, you could move, you could dance, you could play some music with it. So you be able to make put it in a way so that you are better receptive and you feel better as a result. The other thing that I want to say is give yourself quick wins. You know, we always talk about the timer. Set a timer. Do the things that you don't want to do, you know, only in like 15-minute like sound bites, so to speak. And at the end of that, give yourself a little reward, a little something. Now, it may not be champagne, okay, it may not call for all that, so to speak, but see what you can give yourself that would be nurturing. In all of this is to give yourself a greater depth of understanding and compassion as you move through your life. So personally, I think it's based on my work as an ADHD and executive function coach. I think it's a little of both, honestly, myself. Some genetics, but I think certainly nature is a big part of it. Now, if this resonated with you, go ahead and hit like and subscribe. Leave some comments if you wish. And if you want a session with me, give yourself that. Reach out to me, dennis@buttimerconsulting.com. And regardless, as always, I'm betting on you. Have a great day.